Yeah, here we are.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to episode 2857, 2857. It's Mike Matthews. I'm not
Mike's Daily Podcast.
going to have any kind of speech issues today, although that's sort of a thing that people are thinking about lately because they had seen it on TV with the two presidents, and they talk about things like that, and incidentally it is Café Anyway where we are, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
In the land of Ameritopica, I'm not quoting anyone but myself here, but it was
Mike's
definitely
Daily
the worst performance
Podcast.
I have seen by someone at a debate. Except, well, now that I think about it, I said this a couple times today. It was the worst one I ever saw, as far as someone really sucking bad. But I was, now that I think about it, you know, what was his name? Mitt Romney did pretty bad. When was that? 2012? That was, woo. And let's see who else. Walter Mondale. Horrible. That was in 1984. Saw that when I was just a teenager. So I guess it just depends. But he did so bad that even people in his own party were, what are we going to do? And it's funny because there was all those people, the conservatives, that were worried that, oh my gosh, Trump's not going to have an audience. Is he going to do good? He's not going to do as good without an audience. That didn't matter. He adapts. When Biden did his, and we stopped Medicaid, or we killed Medicaid, and Trump immediately picked up on it and said, yeah, you killed it dead, that kind of thing. But enough of that. Let's fly away. Let's go to another country. We might have to. It looks like a lot of people have.
And here's today's podcast picture.
In the first 5 months of 2024, it saw nearly 7% more trips to Europe compared with the year previous. The podcast picture is not of a place outside of America. In fact, it's here in California. In fact, it's at the fair. I went to the fair with my lovely lady friend and took some pictures, and it was nice. Alameda County Fair. And I hadn't been there since before COVID, so it was nice to finally get back there. It's been 6 years. So, but people are going to see that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com, but people are going, top destinations are London, Rome, Paris, Athens, and Amsterdam. And that's a great song by the band known as Guster. And that's the late great Basil the Boxer barking because I didn't take him to Amsterdam. Sorry, Basil. The closest we got to anything Amsterdam related was there's a bit of a dam, the kind of a thing that's holding back the water in the Bay Area. It's some kind of a tide pool thing, big concrete thing. I don't know what you call it, but it's over there in Heron Bay. So I guess but Amsterdam, of course, much different. And back before marijuana was legalized in many parts of the United States, it was the place to go in the world because of all the legalized marijuana in the 80s. Ooh, that's all the teenagers talked about. Ha ha ha, giggle, giggle. That's where I bet Cheech and Chong go to, Amsterdam. Is that one of the lyrics in the song by Guster? No. It's a great song. But the runway. More than 4 years after the pandemic began, global air travel has surpassed
now that's legit.
Pre-pandemic levels. Global airline revenue is going to hit a record $996 billion this year, but higher expenses may keep profits grounded. Last month, the TSA screened a record 2.9 million passengers in one day. While vacations have mostly led the rebound, business travel is also picking up too. I bet a lot of people were glad that business travel was halted during COVID and they got to stay home for once. And then they got sick of being at home and wish they could travel again. But to compete with budget airlines like Spirit and Frontier, United's basic economy sales jumped 35% last quarter. Then 35% better than it was from a year ago. Despite high demand, however, U.S. carriers lost a combined $1.3 billion the first quarter of this year. There are more ways to bring in money. Nearly all the major U.S. airlines have hiked their checked baggage fees, and United this month said its flyers would begin seeing targeted...
I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
They would see... This is Café Anyway. Anyway, they would see targeted ads on their seat backs. Now, when they say that, I don't think they mean the screen that some of these airlines, they have a little TV screen that you can watch movies and whatnot. I think they're talking about an actual sign on the back of the seat that will be staring you in the face the whole trip. Gosh, good luck if it's something you're not going to want to see. Hey, check out new baby wipes. Not for the whole flight. Well, longtime rivals have held their talks, and now it could be that Apple and Meta are going to have an AI partnership, integrating Meta's generative AI model into Apple Intelligence. Isn't that fascinating? And they're not that far from each other there in Silicon Valley, in the Palo Alto of is it Menlo Park? OpenAI and Meta want access to Apple's massive distribution through its iPhones, and Apple would make money getting a piece of the subscription, similar to what Apple offers with its App Store on the iPhone. Apple has developed its own smaller artificial intelligence models, but Apple will turn to partners for more complex or specific tasks. As we go outside of Café Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. But it's not just Meta. They also want to integrate Google and their AI called Gemini. I haven't really used that yet. I've used the ChatGPT, which Microsoft has integrated into Bing and their Edge, but customers could choose which external AI subscriptions they want to pay for. 10% to 20% of Apple users will opt into paying for a premium AI subscription. That's very interesting because you get it for free now. Microsoft is selling subscriptions to ChatGPT, and they are embedding some of the technology into Windows. So I guess Microsoft is...
Good morning, Mr. Matthews.
...doing pay-for models as well. Thank you very much. It's great to have a class here at Café Anyway outside, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, getting close to the 4th of July. People are all excited, and they're traveling and woohoo, and they're going to see maybe family and friends. We, in California, are trying to beat the heat. We're hopefully trying to slow things down a little bit and not be so crazy, because with the heat, your car is under more stress. Your house is under more stress. The grid is under more stress. We're just under more stress. So I'm telling you to just calm down and take it easy. If you can, go somewhere that's air conditioned. That's why during the summer people go see movies, is because the theaters are air conditioned. Inside Out 2 doing really well. It blasted past Dune 2 recently. It took Inside Out to beat Dune. Both of them sequels. Lovely. I have such faith in the American public. We don't want to see anything brand new. I'm familiar with those characters already. This will be great. Just jump right in. Forever 21 seeks 50% rent concessions.
You ready?
As fast fashion brand faces financial woes. The company is struggling to manage its sprawling store footprint. Yes, every mall I've ever been to had a 40 Forever 21, a 40 not 21 store. The company is struggling to manage its sprawl, and they're trying to compete with savvier digital upstarts as well. I'm having that thing that Biden had the other night. I can't talk. This is crazy. I'm like 30 years behind him, but what's this? What's going on here? It's spreading. It's a disease. Bad speech is a disease. So that's what's happening with Forever 21. But that's what's happening. They're going to leave a lot of malls. The mall that you love to go to, the Forever 21 may disappear, and those young people with their first jobs, they're going to have to find another first job. Or I guess that would be a second job. Number of loyalty programs to which the average American is subscribed to is 15. Loyalty programs, top rewards programs, can increase revenue from repeat customers by 25% if they have a rewards program. I'm trying to think of who I got for a rewards program. Oh, I am part of Starbucks rewards program, which is ridiculous.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
And I've done a Mike Matthews absolutely useless review about this, but I am not a fan of Starbucks anymore. I was addicted to their drinks for a long time, and lately with the advent of Keurig cups, etc., I have just not found it interesting. Work gives me delicious free coffee. It's not bad coffee at work anymore. It's actually good stuff that competes and it surpasses sometimes what Starbucks has. Of course, there's Phil's. I don't have a loyalty. Loyola Marymount University. We drove past it when we were down in LA, going to Marina Del Rey back in February of this year, or March of this year. That was fun. And we were near Venice Beach, and yeah, Loyola Marymount. Big university right there. But no, loyalty programs is what I'm talking about. So that's why they do it.
It's Bison Bentley's. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that?
Do you know that one of the biggest reward loyalty programs there ever was that dang Subway loyalty rewards card that people tried to get stamped? It got into a Seinfeld joke. It got into, or was that another sitcom? But it was on some TV sitcom where they joked about, hey, it must have been George Costanza. Here, I'm really thankful for what you did. Here's my loyalty card. Here, I filled out most of them. You just got to go and eat like 5 more sandwiches and you'll get a free one. That kind of thing. So exciting. Oh, there was another bit of interesting news, and that is the price of Ferrari's first electric vehicle. It's due out late next year. It's going to cost $535,000. That's more expensive than all the houses out there. And that does not even include any bonus features. It's significantly more than Porsche's electric vehicle. That is starting at $107,000. But yeah, back to the rewards program. It looks like for rewards programs, companies do
you have any safe spaces?
Safe spaces?
Yes, where people can go to get away from the colonialist mentality. As long as there's a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, we'll be fine.
That's right. It will be fine with the safe spaces. But yeah, companies get about 25% increase in their revenue from the repeat customers they get from rewards programs. Look who's here. Hello, Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Wow, I'm so happy that it's almost the 4th of July. I have exploding snow globes. Everybody's going to rush to get them and to blow them up. Chely Shoehart. That's right, Mike Matthews. I'm so glad that I don't work for you and that I own the gift shop and I don't have to pay you rent, Mike Matthews. Yeah, you got a sweet deal on that. A lot of people that work for me get a sweet deal on things. And, it's not like they take advantage of me, but some of them do. And that's not cool. Don't take advantage of your managers, everyone. Let's all work together for a better America. That's what this holiday is all about, isn't it? Isn't it? Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, all of that was fascinating about really expensive cars.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Hey, that guy, he didn't put down the mic. In fact, he was working pretty good with the mute button and no audience thing recently. How is that possible, Mike? Mike, you're the same name as a microphone. Yes. Enjoy the holiday and enjoy of the rest of this podcast, which is going to include a phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640. Note to self.
And then you can also check out, we're going to the main frame to hear from A-Frame. She's going to tell us all about stuff that has to do with Mike's Daily Podcast. Yes, that little bit of excitement at the end of the podcast makes it all worthwhile. All the fun stuff that you want to know here at the main frame, we hear from A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!